Hi, everybody. It's me, Lori Simpson Ortega, a host of the Victorious Life Outreach Teaching Ministry located here in the beautiful city of Roses, Tyler, Texas, and the proud owner-operator of Clean Cotton, Bespoke, and Embroidery. I had to step outside for a minute because I had not just a profound thought, but I just had two classes of first graders in the library at the same time. And I can't handle that the way I used to handle it. So I wanted to say that, and I also want to apologize for my bare naked face. Okay, my beautiful bare naked face. I heard a lady say that one time, and I was going to use that. So here's what this post is about. If your child ever comes home, or if you are married to an educator, or know somebody that is an educator, we have these things that are called, we have drills. We have a fire drill, we have a tornado drill, we have a shelter in place drill, and then we have a lockdown. So we actively, every school, I'm sure around the United States, I guess because of Columbine, we practice those, okay, with the students, so the students won't be running around in a frenzy and teachers won't be running around in a frenzy, etc. So we practice the fire drills, we practice the tornado drills, and when it comes to the shelter in place and the lockdowns, those are, while they're for the students, they're also for the teachers and the staff, because we don't need to be running around like chickens with our heads cut off. So we know what to do. And if you've been in education for a long time, you do it. It becomes second nature. So today we, I'm not gonna, I can't say that, but after a lockdown, okay. Now again, lockdowns are for practice. Doesn't necessarily mean something's going on. All right. So if your kid is at Griffin Elementary, don't start trying to run out here based on this Facebook post, or your grandkid. Don't run out here with that. I'm just using this as a teachable moment. So I was thinking about the lockdown, and I started thinking, if anything, God forbid, if anything really happens, who would I call or text? So I've sat in my office, y'all, this morning just thinking about lockdowns and all that shelter in place, like the negatives of it. And I started thinking about the people that I would text, and the people that I would call, and the people that I would hope would text back or respond. And I thought about that, and I thought about it because when you feel like you're about to leave this world, who are the people or the person that you will send a text to, or if you can, sneak out a call? Who are those people, and who is that person? It may be your spouse. It may be your children. It may be, it may be your siblings, or, I don't know who your people are. But at that moment, after you call on Jesus and you bind the hand of the enemy, who are you calling? Who are you contacting? If you know and you feel like this is the end, who are you calling? Who are you contacting? And I want you to think about that, because here's my point. Sometimes the people we worry about are not the people that we would call if we were about to leave this world. Those aren't the people. So I guess this post is to say, work on your people. Stay close to your people. Let your people know how much you care about them. Say you love them. Say I love you to your people. Try to make your people happy. Be there for your people. Be less concerned about people that in your last breaths, last moments, you wouldn't text them, you wouldn't call them. I love Lois Minor, Archie Walker, Suzette Chalk, Tamisha Shoemake. I love Lamisa Hardin Jenkins. I love, there's like other people I love. But I can assure you, Ruby Knowlton, Sharon Bayan, I love them. But if I'm about to leave this planet and I feel the breath slipping away, I can honestly say I'm not spending my last moments on this earth trying to get to those 10 or 11 women. I'm not. I'm spending my time trying to get to my circle, my people. So that's what I want. Going into 2026, think about that. Stop sweating over these people that are not your people. We can, you have friends. I'm not taking away from that. Those 10 women, they're my buddies. They're my, what they say, I'm not going to say ride or die. They're my ride and lives, okay? But like I said, I honestly cannot guarantee. I'm telling you now, I would not reach out to them with my last breaths or my last moments. I would not expect them to do that for me either. Because we have genuinely showed each other how much we love and care about and are there for each other throughout our connections together. So I'm saying to every person under the sound of my voice, that book, stop sweating the small stuff. Stop sweating all of these people. Stop worrying about and being concerned about what people think about you, how they look at you. Stop being concerned about that. Stop being concerned about that. Because those people, they're not your people. They're your friends. They're your buddies, But if these are go back to that. If these are your last breaths, your last moments, you wouldn't go to those people. Celebrate the people that are there for you. Celebrate, love, and honor and respect the people that are in your circle. Love, celebrate, cherish, and honor the people that help you be the best that you can be every single day, whether they are trying to be your cheerleader or your coach. Celebrate those people. Honor those people. Cherish those people. Because let me tell you, if any of those 10 women, if they were in their the last grips or clutches of life, and they call me first, or they send a text to me first, I would say, well, who did you call your husband? Did you call? No, I call you first. I would be like, why? What are you in the parking lot? Are you across the street? How far away from me are you? Because I don't want that moment. I don't want to steal that moment from them. So that's what I'm saying. A lot of times we get caught up running behind people that don't want us anyway. That don't want anything really to do with us. They're just tolerating us because we're serving their purpose. Because we're making them feel good about themselves. We're providing some service to them. So stop running behind all of these other people. Value and cherish the relationships that you have and embrace them, because at the end of the day, I can tell you now, if I go back in this building and they put us on a lockdown and it's an active shooter, and there, if the Lord tells me right now, you've got 30 minutes before you leave this world, I'm calling my children, I'm calling my husband, I'm calling my remaining siblings, and give or take a few nieces and nephews. And I'm just being transparent. I'm not calling any of my friends. I'm not calling any of my former bosses or current bosses. I'm not calling any other church members. I'm not calling any of the butcher, baker, candlestick maker. I've told y'all who I'm calling. And I'm going with my 30 minutes. I'm going to call my last call. Because, you know, sometimes you call them, you can't get a hold to them because they doing other things. But the last 5 minutes of my life is going to be spent talking to a reassuring, calming voice that I know, that was with me, that knew me. The last 5 minutes, they're going to be a call where I don't want to hear crying. Oh no, oh my goodness, oh my God. My last minutes, I'm going to hear, you know what? You came here, you lived here, you did the thing. You're going to be okay. That's what I'm saying. I'm not trying to call y'all. So I'm saying is knowing God and being with him. It doesn't matter. Only thing that matters is knowing God and being with him. Yes, I'm saying you're right. I'm not taking away from that. But I'm saying we live in a world where we're constantly seeking validation, and we're constantly seeking ways to be acceptable and validated and amongst people who I'm just going to be real transparent, Veronica. In this building behind me, it's a lot of people that I know. I've worked here for 6 years. Wonderful, amazing people. I mean, wonderful people, genuine people. But that's not my tribe. I just work with them. When I leave, when I pull off at 2650, I don't think about any of them unless the Spirit puts them on my mind in prayer or what have you. I could care less about what they think about me, because everybody's entitled to their opinion. And a lot of times we chase after people whose opinions don't really matter. That's all they have is their opinion. An opinion doesn't make their opinion of you doesn't make it right. That's just their opinion, and they're entitled to their opinion. You judge a person by their actions. When their actions line up with your opinion, then that becomes what we call a fact. So the fact is, I'm not trying, like Drake said, no new friends. I'm still down my day ones. I'm not trying to hang out, run with, impress nobody in the building. You know who I'm trying to impress? Aside from the Lord, I'm trying to impress Nicholas, Claire, Grant, Nicole, Andrea, Alana, Darrell, Tiffany, Ty, Honey, i.e. Pax, Brayley, Joran, Lil Mike, Madison. I'm trying to impress, people who are coming through the pipe. Not y'all old grown folk. I'm trying to impress, and not impress from the standpoint of showy, but impress, make an imprint on their hearts to let them know. Don't get caught up behind people. Get your tribe, get your group, get your core. And y'all have heard me say this before. Get your core. And when you get your core, get a core that supports you. Anybody that doesn't support you, that you're constantly battling with to show and prove your worth, and begging and pleading, that's not the person and people for you. God has somebody. To the single women, God and men, stop chasing behind all these little scallywags. Stop that. Stop trying to dumb yourself down just to get a date, or dumb yourself down because you don't want to be alone. Learn to be comfortable with yourself. God has somebody playing for you. There's somebody for you that's right for you, that's going to encourage you, that's going to motivate you, that's going to celebrate you and honor you, that's going to adore you. And I'm not taking away from the adoration that we should be giving God and Jesus. I'm not saying that. But there's somebody out there for you single men and women. They are going to worship the ground that you walk on. And I don't mean in a sacrilegious kind of way. I don't mean that. I mean, when they think about you, they're going to call you. When they think about you, they're going to text you or send you a meme or something, not to the point of stalking. But there's somebody out there that when you walk in the room, they're going to start smiling and grinning, and they're going to be happy knowing that's mine right there. That is mine. That's my husband. That's my wife. That's my fiance. That's my significant other, however y'all label it now, because I've been out the game for a minute. But however y'all label it, there's somebody that's going to be there for you. There's going to be somebody that when you're having a messed up day, they're going to, and you say, oh man, I had some kind of day. They're going to be like, well, tell me about it. There are going to be some, to the single men and women, there's somebody out there for you. Stop running behind all these people that don't want you. That man is showing you he don't want you. That woman is showing you she doesn't want you. You young professionals or people in the workplace, stop trying to run with and manipulate and maneuver through a work environment or a work setting that may not be conducive to your skill set, your talents, or your abilities. A friend of mine, and I think they're watching, he said, I would have thought you would have left Tyler years ago. Okay, God had other plans. I'm still open for leaving and moving if it's his will. But you know what? But the one thing that I cannot say that I do not have a small town, small city mentality when it comes to advancing. So there's a difference between, getting caught up and trying to force myself into a situation. You people that are working, stop forcing yourself into work conversations and work environments that's you've outgrown that. Go on. Start looking for another job. When your money's not right, get your resume, update your resume, start passing that. Don't just be the person, yeah, I'm so sick of these people on this job. Okay, then do something. Pull up. Do something. Stop other than talking. You parents, my kids are so bad. I'm so disappointed in my kids. Well, why are you disappointed? Are you disappointed because maybe that was something that you should have did in your life? And now you're trying to force that on them, and they're like, no, they're offering resistance to what you wanted in yours. And now you're making their life a living hell because you need the validation. You need parental validation for that. No, stop all that. No. Get your people. Get with your people. Encourage your people. Cherish your people. You know you're getting serious when your neck start moving and head start bobbing like a bobblehead when you feel passionate about what you're saying. So that's all I'm saying. If something were to happen to you and you knew these were your last moments, your last minutes, who would you reach out to? Who would you call? Now, I like to think that before you went to the great beyond, that you would stop and say a moment of, hey, Lord, I thank you for life. I thank you for this or whatever. So I'm not taking away from that. I'd like to think that's the first thing. That's the first conversation you call. You call Jesus. But I'm saying after you call Jesus and Father God, who would you call? Who would you reach out to? Because get this. Whoever you decided, if you couldn't talk, and you sent them a text, what would you do if they didn't respond? What would you do? Would you spend your last minutes fussing about they didn't get back with me? They didn't do that? Or would you go, as the poem said, would you go gently into the sweet night knowing, okay, well, they were out of pocket. But when they get it, I know they cared for me. I know they loved me. So y'all think about that. Let me suit back up. Go back in the building. Because at 12:15, I got the soldiers coming out. I got 3rd grade, 5th grade, and I end the day with 4th grade. And I just want to say this. While they are all wonderful, wonderful children, I didn't like 4th grade when I was in 4th grade. It's just something about that group. But they have no clue. I'm not a fan of 4th grade. And don't y'all tell them.